mother versus a nurturing mother. I want to start with Titus 2, verse 3.
The aged woman, likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given too much wine, teachers of good things.
Read on verse 4.
That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children.
Let's go to Deuteronomy 6, verse 7.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
So the Most High said to teach the commandments to your children. Read on.
And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way.
You need to make sure that you're teaching them whether you're walking up and down the street. You may see somebody using drugs or a girl dressed in an inappropriate way. You need to have that discussion with your child to let them know that this goes against the Bible and what the Most High wants us to do. Okay, read on.
And when thou liest down and when thou risest up.
So even before bed, you should be teaching your children the commandments. And when you wake up, you should be teaching your children the commandments. We're going to start with what a cruel mother would look like.
Tonight, 12 investigates a viral video that police say shows toddlers being given marijuana and then smoking it. We first told you about the investigation last night at 6 o'clock.
It is so disturbing. Several concerned viewers sent us this video that, as you see here behind us, 2 women now under arrest, and we're learning new details about their connection to the children.
I want to go live to Janae Lewis now. She's been looking at court documents all day and joins us outside of Winston-Salem Police Headquarters. Janae, good evening.
Well, we've learned the 2 women in that video were friends of the family, and the kids were in their care Monday when court documents show that this incident happened. Now, in the video, you see a woman passing marijuana around to those very young children. Arrest warrants I obtained show the children are ages 3, 2, and the youngest being just 18 months. 2 women have been charged, including the woman that you see in the video, who's Michaela Pearson. Pearson and Candace Little are charged with felony child abuse as well as contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Now, according to a release from the Winston-Salem Police Department, they did get Child Protective Services involved. They took the kids to the hospital to be treated when they arrested those 2 women. At this point, we don't know where those children are right now.
We as mothers and repented Israelites and trying to become virtuous women have to be very aware of who our friends are, who our companions are, and we should not be smoking around our children or leaving them with people who will set a bad example. First of all, you have to look at your children like they're a gift from the Lord. Let's go to Psalms 127, verse 3.
Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward.
So the Most High said, when you get pregnant, that is a reward. That is supposed to be a good thing. They are your gifts from the Most High. You're supposed to take care of them, and we're supposed to love them and bring them up, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments.
Isaiah 32:9, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Proverbs 25:28. He that have no rule over his spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. The scripture that talks about rise up, ye women that are at ease. It's easy to be ratchet. Being an Israelite woman is extremely hard. Okay, so it's not for the weak. Keeping these commandments, changing, that's not easy. Paying attention to your children, teaching your children, you just have to prioritize your time and become consistent.
Being a working mom and having to deal with the struggles of educating your children. We both worked, Bishop and myself. Scripture really that kind of plays in our household is 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. I'll start at verse 11. It says, these things command and teach. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy. Let me tell you something. Your girl was struggling. Your girl is struggling, and it has been a continual thing. I remember having to rotate my business schedule, my work schedule, workout schedules, etc., around trying to go to school trips and different things like that, and always being there for my kids. I never wanted my kids to say that they had an absent mother who was not there for them, especially when we're supposed to be the role model and to be their eminent cheerleaders, right? And so my kids can say that I went on school trips, that I was there to do homework and projects until 2-3 o'clock in the morning, right? I was there to write papers, etc. There are times where you're going to have a lack of sleep, and that as a mom, you're going to have to make sacrifices. You have to be present. There's a famous quote by George Santayana, I believe his name is. It says, "A child only educated in school is an uneducated child." And when you're a working mom, you kind of find yourself split into several pieces. The bishop has a great class about time management. And so you've got to be able to make sure that you are managing your time at home, delegate and follow up. Let me tell you something, as a working mom with a child now that is homeschooled, you would think that it would be easier, but it's not.
Every child learns different. Don't put the same expectations on one child to another child, because it can make their self-esteem drop.
Because they're all great and they all have their own gift in some way.
Failing's not an option in our house. They need to know that they come from a lineage of kings, of wisdom, of smart. I tell my sons, you are their great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren. You are wise, you are smart, you are brilliant, you are intelligent, because it is in your blood. And that's the type of men that we're going to raise.
Verse 20, "And in all matters of wisdom and understanding, that the king inquired of them, he found them 10 times better than all the musicians and astrologers that were all in his realm."
Woo, you heard that?
So having patience is more productive. Galatians 5, chapter 22. "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law."
So a lot of people ask me all the time, like, how do you juggle like 7 kids? And I'm like, Shamara had a class, it was called Sink or Swim. Either you sink or you swim. And I'm choosing to swim. And sometimes I float. Some days I'm just getting by. Just really prayed about it because I did not want to fail my kids. I was in college myself, and I was like, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. But just like Naama said, sex is all fun and games, right? Until responsibility comes. I want them to win. So I got this out. We want them to be strong readers. There's a quote that reading is important because if you can read, you can learn anything. And I really believe that, y'all, because I could read, but I really didn't I didn't comprehend it. And it wasn't until coming into the truth, it taught me comprehension. So when I went back to college, I was like, okay, I had so much more confidence. Now I could teach myself anything. And then now I could teach it to my kids. There's another thing that's important is ACT scores. ACT scores are important because that is the key to getting into college. And if you score well enough, like 22 to 24, I believe it is, now you're looking at scholarships. Okay. Who wants to pay for college if you don't have to?
So I was tasked with trying to find a homeschool program that would be beneficial to the kids and also work out for me because I work full time from home. So I researched several different programs and finally decided to go with Acellus. It's pre-recorded lessons, for which for me was the biggest seller. This is their classroom, which is on the other side of the laundry room, and my office is on the other side of the laundry room.
Educate your kids. There are free ones. You just got to do your research. Our children should not be wearing on name brand, but they dumb as hell. That's just not the Israelite way. It's just not. Okay, we have to take time to educate our children.